You know, it's been quite a bit of time since I've given you guys my opinions on all the Pokemon. My opinions on Mons can change over the years, and also with new Mons coming out since those videos, I thought now would be a pretty good time to do so. This time though, I wanted to go based on typings and not on region, because I like that idea of grouping more. Today, we start off with the Dragon type, which is actually my favorite type of all time. This typing as a whole has some of the most powerful Pokemon ever created. There isn't a Dragon type I particularly dislike, because most of the designs are peak, and most have some niches they are good at when it comes to competitive. If you guys want me to continue this series, let's smash that like button, and be sure to tell me what typing you want me to cover next. The comment with the most upvotes will be the one that I decide. Also be sure to let me know your favorite dragons down below as well. Real quick though, before we start, Luna's World. If you like lo-fi and need some music to chill to, Luna's World could be the place for you. With that though, let's start in Kanto and gradually head up to Paldea. One quick note too, I will cover Zard X when we get to the fire types, so we're gonna start off with Alolan Exeggutor. I'm not super huge on the Exeggutor line, but I do appreciate the fact that the Dex entries mention its regional variant. Dratini is adorable. I even used the one you get in Heart Gold and Soul Silver with extreme speed and grinded it up to a Dragonite. Dragonair is such a beautiful looking Pokemon. I still remember that one scene in the Pokemon 2000 short film, Pikachu's Rescue. It was flying over a rainbow, and that made me love it. Shiny is also really pretty. Dragonite is the OG dragon, and to this day is still one of OU's titans. It's absolutely wild how this Pokemon has survived power creep and is still relevant today. Design-wise, it's badass, and the anime always did a good job of depicting how powerful Dragonite was, giving it to the top trainers of the world. I don't care how much time has passed and how Kingdra has fallen competitive-wise. Design-wise and concept-wise, Kingdra is still in my top 10 favorite mons of all time. After seeing Claire have a Kingdra, I wanted one for myself. Molly's Kingdra from Pokemon 3 really made me love this seahorse though. The music that plays during that battle is chef's kiss. Was hiking up Trapinch to level 35 worth it to get Vibrava? Yeah, I would say it was, and I love it. My favorite Gen 3 dragon is definitely Flygon. Sure, Flygon has never been outstanding comp-wise, but I always enjoyed using it during in-game runs, despite the grind it took to get there. Let's hope we also get a Mega Flygon for Pokemon Legends ZA. Arceus knows everyone wants that. We all want Flygon to succeed. Altaria is precious regardless of how not good it is in comp. I love the cotton candy-like fluffy clouds it has. I also liked how it got some spotlight from Lycia and Oras. Mega Altaria is beast. I remember having a shiny one in Oras, and that gold design is solid. Bagon is cute. Who remembers that episode of the anime where it has a dream to fly? That is extremely wholesome. The only thing I remotely remember about Shelgon is the battle it had against Ash's Grovyle, and I remember it was moving pretty fast. Other than that, I don't dislike it nor love it. It's just kind of there. I'm a bigger Flygon fan when it comes to Gen 3 dragons, but that's not to say I don't respect Mence. It's a cool looking dragon nonetheless, and it was fun to use in the early competitive days as well. Its Mega is busted too, but I'm not a huge fan of the design. I love Latios and Latias equally, and the first time I saw them was in Pokemon Heroes. Heroes is still one of my favorite Pokemon movies to date. I also loved using both Latis in comp, Latias for support and Latios as a Scarfer. It's awesome to see they're at least in UU nowadays. Soaring on their mega forms in the skies of Hoenn and Oras also makes these two really memorable for me. Rayquaza is one of the most iconic dragons Pokemon has. The Mach-Bach puzzle is still difficult to me even today, but when you have a mon like this, it's worth it. Its Mega Evolution is still incredibly badass looking, and its shiny is one of the cleanest and coolest ones I have ever seen. Gible is adorable, and Ash's was super hilarious. Those Draco misses always made me crack a smile. I just wish Ash would have evolved it, but alas. Gabite is cool, but I don't really have a huge opinion on it. Garchomp is one of the coolest dragon Pokemon ever. I've used Garchomp a lot over the years, and what's cool is you can use it in multiple ways. One of my favorite times using it is in X and Y, where you can capture the Gible line at a decent time. Its Mega Evolution is okay. Main series games aside, I actually really liked Primal Dialga from Explorers of Sky. I can't really think of anything to say about Palkia. It's not really a mon I dislike though. Its origin form is cool though. Giratina, on the other hand, is freaking amazing. Ghost and Dragon is such a dope type concept, and it really matches the design scheme well. The Distortion World is another reason why I like it so much. Such a cool concept. I wish we could have gotten that in BDSP. I love all 3 mons on the Haxorus line. Gen 5 did a good job of depicting this dope looking dragon. Haxorus' shiny form is also super clean. Black shinies are literally just the best. I used to dislike Dredagon, but over the years, it's grown on me. Its design looks like it's based on a medieval dragon, and over the years, I've come to appreciate that. Shiny-wise, yeah, no, it's still ugly. Dark and Dragon. What a sick type combo. The entire line design-wise is sick, and funny enough, is actually based on a tank. It also seems to take inspiration from the Yamata no Orochi, a Japanese mythological dragon with 8 heads and red eyes. It's a hell dragon, and it's cool. I've always liked Zekrom's design, and the electric typing I feel suits it pretty well. I like how the tail even lights up. I will say the same for Reshiram and its design. It's pretty sleek with the white. Dragon Fire was also the typing I wasn't expecting it to get when it first came out. When these two combine into Kyurem Black or White though, both of these forms are really fun to use during comp. And I always love the aspects of the DNA splicers and Pokemon fusions. Bottom line, I love this trio of dragons and love the lore behind them in Unova history. Not a lot of people really talk about Dragalge much, but I personally really like it. Poison Dragon fits it pretty well too. I love dinosaurs and T-Rexes. Tyrantrum and its line are the perfect choices to fit a Dinomon. Love them both to death. Everything about the entire Goodra line is adorable. Ashes from the anime especially. The regional variants are in the same boat. I had a Hisuian Goodra on my first team in Legends Arceus too, and it was really fun to use. I feel the Noivern line is pretty underrated. It's cute, and I had my fun using it back in the early days of the X and Y meta. Zygarde has multiple ways of talking about it. The Zygarde cores are cute, its 10% form is a good boy, the 50% form is the one we know most of, and my personal favorite, and the 100% form looks like a Gundam, and I appreciate that. I'm pretty excited to see what more we're going to be learning about this mon once Legend ZA drops. I don't really look at Turtonator much, but I like Kiawe's from the Sun and Moon anime. I can also appreciate its design when I do look at it. I remember back when Drampa was announced, and I thought it was going to be Dunsparce's new evolution. But alas, it wasn't. Still a cool looking Pokemon though, and its dex entries are definitely interesting. Sun and Moon Pseudo-Legendary was definitely a treat. I love the entire concept of this Evo line's design. Its design looks like it has a lot of inspiration behind it. Using it in comp can be fun from time to time as well. Sun and Moon has some banger mons, and this Evo line is definitely a part of that trope. I've never been a huge fan of Guzzlord, not gonna lie. Design-wise, it just didn't hit for me, especially when you have other dope Ultra Beasts like these ones. Not gonna lie, Ultra Necrozma folded me a few times in my first run of Ultra Sun and Moon. I really appreciate the challenge aspect it provided me, and that design is also pretty fire. This mon is super cool to look at. One, because purple is my favorite color, and also just the fact that it's shredded in comp makes it one of my favorite mons overall from Gen 7. You know, just because these Apple Dragons aren't great in comp doesn't mean we can't appreciate the simplicity and adorableness of their designs. Appleton is based on an apple pie or an apple turnover, and it's completely adorable. Apple desserts are delicious. I, of course, would never eat it though. Or would I? I've never been a huge fan of Sword and Shield, but its mon designs do not miss. These Gen 8 fossils are solid in concept, and I love the process of finding these fossils in-game. I will admit, they do look like abominations, but I love them. And we appreciate Mr. Fish on this channel, damn it. I don't like nor dislike Duraludon. It's kinda just here. Introducing the best Pokemon from Gen 8 design-wise. Who doesn't like Dragapult or its Evo line? There's also the fact it's still an OU beast, and you can run whatever you want on it. All the mons in this Evo line are peak. Eternatus still gives me chills. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but it's a ticking time bomb, and I do not want to be near it if it goes off. Not a huge fan of the Sword and Shield DLC, but Regidrago was something awesome we got out of it. Design-wise, it's clean, and I'm glad the Regis got new forms. I always found it super dope watching NPCs in Scarlet and Violet ride Cyclizar around. We get to as well, given Koraidon and Miraidon's origins. You guys also remember Shedtail? Those are some good times. I'll just say, I think all of Tatsugiri's colors are adorable. That's all. Scarlet and Violet hit a home run with this dragon type. All of the Mons in this line are either adorable or ferocious looking, and Bax is pretty deadly and fun to use. This line is one of my favorite pseudos to date. I love the design of Roaring Moon, and not gonna lie, it's one of my favorite Mons to run in OU. Both the box art covers of Scarlet and Violet are amazing design-wise, and they wreak havoc across the meta. I even made a video about them that you should totally go and check out. The fact that these two are also our mounts in Scarlet and Violet is pretty refreshing, and I love how you unlock new abilities with them as you progress through Paldea. These two are fun mons to use no matter what you're doing. As a Johto fan, the fact that all 3 legendary beasts got paradox forms was pretty freaking awesome. All these designs are sick, and they're some of the most fun mons to use across the meta. All 3 of them have their own roles they play no matter what side of the meta you're playing on. My personal favorite is Walking Wake, but all 3 of them are pretty peak. I share the same sentiment with the Applin line as I do with Diplin and Hydrapple. I love the design concept. Hydrapple seems to have some cool and interesting real-life inspiration behind it as well. Also, even though Kieran was super easy to beat, the fact he had a Hydrapple as his ace was pretty cool. And lastly, we got Archelodon. I feel the same exact way about it as I do with Duraludon. I guess it's kinda cool. Well, that wraps up my ops on all the dragon types. Do you guys have a favorite dragon type? If so, let me know down below, as well as letting me know what typing you want to see next. Remember, the type with the most upvotes will be the one I cover next. With that, I'll see you guys real soon.